What's up, and thank you for listening to the Steve and Jay Show. I am Jason Courier, and this is our Ring of Honor weekly review. Today, I am going to be reviewing and reacting to Ring of Honor Television number 315, which aired on October 2nd, 2017, and I'm recording this on October 4th, 2017. If you could please click subscribe down below. I really appreciate it. And if you could please also click that notification bell to receive notification when we post our new stuff. I usually like to record the Ring of Honor stuff on Wednesdays, and depending on how long it takes me to get my act together and get it out there, I'll either post it on Wednesday evening or Thursday afternoon. It just depends on how long it takes me to get it together on Wednesday, but that's the idea. If you would like to follow us on Twitter at Steve and Jay Show, you can find us there. Search for us on Facebook. Find us there pretty easily. Just search for Steve and Jay Show. Anyway, the evening started out with Ian Riccaboni and BJ Whitmer on the call as usual. The night itself started with a promo replaying the Ring of Honor Rumble from the week before, which determined the number one contender for the Ring of Honor World Championship and would face Cody Rhodes this week. Of course, Frankie Kazarian won the Rumble itself with a little bit of help from Christopher Daniels. They replayed a few little highlights from the Rumble and mostly showed the aftermath after the match when Christopher Daniels grabbed the mic and turned on the crowd again, as he has been doing, and basically ripped the crowd, said that they're going to win the title out of spite and to pretty much rub the crowd's nose in it. The night, as far as matches, started out with a triple threat tag team match that was a tornado rule triple threat tag team match. Basically, that means all the competitors are in the ring at the same time and first pin wins. Now, War Machine referred to this as a War Machine rules match, which featured War Machine, oddly enough, versus Coast to Coast and the Tempura Boyz. The War Machine, of course, being the IWGP Tag Team Champions. Everything kind of started out as a bit of a cluster as far as everybody was in the ring at once, so it's going to be a little crazy to start. Things kind of started to thin out a little bit after that. I believe it was Yo of Tempura Boyz was in ring at the end of it all, kind of got the edge on both members of Coast to Coast. I believe Ro then got the edge on Yo, and War Machine just pretty much came in and started cleaning house at that point. There was some cool aerials then by Coast to Coast. There was a pretty cool suicide dive flip over the top rope, and then a pretty cool flip off the turnbuckle onto the outside of the ring. That was pretty cool. Then pretty much one of the funnest, I think, moments of the match came when it was time for War Machine to kind of show off how agile Hanson is. And for a big dude, homeboy can move a little bit. He can fly too, apparently. He got to the top turnbuckle. The group is kind of standing on the outside of the ring, and he flies from the turnbuckle, does the front flip onto the group. Super cool stuff, especially for a big guy to do that. That's pretty darn impressive. Good stuff, but they're awesome, so big shock there. Coast to Coast then ends up in the ring with Yo of the Tempura Boyz and nearly pick up a pinfall. Looked kind of like they might sneak in a win somehow, but a little too early for that. Tempura Boyz then end up getting a spike pile driver that they combo up on Rowe of the War Machines. War Machines Hansen then kind of comes in and does a pretty cool little flippy dippy thing. Then he grabs, I believe that it was each member of Coast to Coast, and Raymond Rowe had one member kind of across his chest, and then Hansen came over and stacked, I believe it was a member of Coast to Coast. I was so caught up in what in the heck are they doing that I didn't really even notice who was being stacked up here. And he basically stacks him on top of this body that was on Rowe's chest, and then Rowe power slams both men down to the ring. It was pretty cool stuff. Really cool stuff, actually. Super strong by Rowe, and he's not even the big guy. They're both these guys are just absolute animals. Just really good wrestlers, really cool stuff. Awesome. There's a suicide dive then by Hansen. Again, the big fella doing some serious moving out there. Raymond Rowe and Yo then get into the ring. There's a slam by Rowe on Yo, and that is followed by another impressive frog splash by Hansen, and War Machine picks up the pin and the win. Pretty much a dominant performance by War Machine. They had some back and forth throughout the whole thing. They made you feel like maybe the Tempura boys might be able to pick up a win. Maybe Coast to Coast might pick up a win at some point. Coast to Coast set up for their signature Coast to Coast at one point. So both teams kind of looked like maybe they might somehow get a win, but War Machine, they were just too darn good, too darn dominant. They end up with the W, and Hansen did a very impressive job of showing off some agility. The dude can move. It's good stuff. The next match of the night took place between apparently a Southern wrestler that wrestles independent in the Southern leagues, Corey Hollis, and he took on one of my favorites, Flip Gordon. I'm a big fan of pretty much anything with any kind of an aerial assault, so Flip's one of my guys. I dig him. It's good stuff. Early on in the match, Flip does some kind of weird handstand thing where he's bouncing around, and he's super athletic. The dude can move around in the ring like a gymnast. There's a suicide dive slash flip over the top rope by Flip Gordon to the outside of the ring. Ends up back in the ring. Hollis gets the edge on Flip when Flip goes for a springboard of some sort, and Hollis kicks the rope out from underneath him. So Flip down to the rope, down to the mat. That was kind of the point where Hollis kind of took over the match a little bit. He started working on the arm, kind of slowed things down, got the match into his favor. At one point, he had worked on the arm so much that Flip tried to turn the match in his favor with a fireman's carry, and his arm just basically gave out and he couldn't do it. He then tries again and ends up getting the fireman's carry and does a Samoan drop. But the whole time he's grabbing his arm and wincing, and you can tell he was really favoring it. So mission accomplished there by Corey Hollis in terms of slowing things down a little bit and working on that arm. There is a DDT then by Hollis that Flip sells pretty well. Almost oversells, but sells pretty well. And Hollis looked like he might actually pick up the upset win, and it was a near fall. Flip, though, kicks out. They kind of go back and forth. It looked like Flip was going to take back over. Hollis takes back over. It was kind of a neat little back and forth thing that they did at that point. Hollis had taken control again and was trying to pull Flip over to the ring post and jam his fingers down in the turnbuckle, like in the actual metal ring. He was trying to jam Flip's fingers down in there. Flip's fingers. That's a heck of a tongue twister there. He's trying to jam Flip's fingers down in the actual ring, turnbuckle ring. Flip, though, does a really cool... He jumps up like he's going to do a springboard, but he delivers the kick off the springboard back down to the apron. Then he pops back up, does the springboard, the 450 flip, and Flip flips his way to a win. He pins Hollis then at that point for the W. They then cut to a Frankie Kazarian promo. They showed Frankie backstage with his boy Christopher Daniels. Christopher Daniels didn't say much. I think he pointed at the camera at one time, and that's pretty much all he did. And looked cool in his glasses. That's about all Christopher Daniels did for this promo, which kind of moves away from... We haven't heard as much from Kaz, it seems, during this whole thing as we have from Christopher Daniels, but it's almost like they're having Christopher Daniels kind of feud with Cody through Frankie, and with Ring of Honor and with the crowd, and it's good stuff. Good. They also then cut a Women of Honor promo, breaking down a tournament that they're doing. There was a Kelly Klein interview with Ian. All good stuff. I really like Women of Honor. I'm a big fan of all kinds of women's wrestling divisions, and Ring of Honor does it well. Kelly Klein's a beast. She's an animal. Anyway, on to the actual main events, and this was one that I was really, really looking forward to. I really like what Cody's done with himself and how he's kind of rebirthed himself as far as his wrestling career. It's really, really awesome to see what he's doing, and he is so much better now than he was this time last year, for example. Just amazing what he's been able to do on the independent scene, and I've heard rumor that he is either ready to or has signed an official contract now with Ring of Honor. I read that online. I can't even remember where I read it, but hopefully that's true. I don't know if any of that's true, but hopefully it is. That'd be cool. I'm at the point now where I'd hate to see him go back to WWE, so because they'd probably make him be Stardust or something stupid. So anyway, Frankie Kazarian took on Cody, the American Nightmare, the Ring of Honor champion, with the actual Ring of Honor now as well, which is pretty cool. Pretty cool to have a Super Bowl ring, basically. Hall of Fame ring, Super Bowl ring, Super Bowl style ring, I guess I should say. Anyhow, before at some point during the match, BJ Whitmer said that he's got a little fun fact, and that Cody is the fightingest champion in Ring of Honor history, which is pretty cool because he goes over to Japan and defends it over in New Japan, and it's just cool stuff. He's, like I said, again, it's really awesome what he's done with his career. It's just good stuff. I really dig what he's done. Cody early on had a figure four, little tribute to his papa, with the old school figure four leg lock on Kaz. Kaz then manages to reach the ropes, however. There is a cool springboard off the turnbuckle kind of run-up thing by Cody. A lot of what Cody does, he does a lot of springboard stuff, and he really shows a lot of agility, and his agility in the way he kind of runs up the ropes and to get to the top rope, and it's really cool what he's done with himself. I really dig his style. He's good stuff. Frankie Kazarian, though, kind of takes over from the outside of the ring. He's then yelling at the crowd and slamming Cody into the barrier and doing that sort of thing. So he's kind of taken over the match a bit. Kaz does his leg drop, the springboard leg drop, kind of rolls Cody in the ring and does the springboard leg drop into the ring, which one of my favorite Kaz moves. I think that's really cool. And he does a lot of the slingshot stuff and springboard stuff, and he's got the goods too. It's good stuff. This was a really good match. I actually really enjoyed this match quite a bit. There's an arm drag by Cody. He kind of gets Kazarian up on the top rope again. He does his little run up the ropes thing, and he does an arm drag and flings Kazarian from the top ropes across the ring. Super cool stuff. There's a slingshot cutter by Kaz, another one of my favorites. Again, he does the slingshot stuff, really cool, really good stuff. There's a pin attempt by Kaz, and it is rolled into kind of a crossface by Cody. As Cody's got a hold of Frankie Kazarian, Christopher Daniels decides to come on out. And as Daniels comes out, Marty Scurll comes out to save the day and his Bullet Club buddy, Cody. And Daniels quickly turns to Marty Scurll and ends up throwing Marty, I believe, into the ring post, leaving Marty slumped down outside of the ring and out. There's then a roll-up pin attempt by Cody, but because Christopher Daniels is out there now, he's up on the apron and he's distracting the referee, Todd St. Clair, and Cody rolls up Kaz, and he's got him down and the crowd's counting, Ian's counting, and they got to, I believe, an 8 count, where Todd St. Clair, by the time he got over there, he had only counted to 2. So Cody coulda, shoulda, woulda had the win right then and there if he, being Todd St. Clair, had not been distracted by Christopher Daniels. So official distracted, no pin. Cody then goes for another figure 4, and Kaz kicks him into the corner and traps Todd St. Clair, the official, in between Cody and the ring post. So now Todd St. Clair is down. Christopher Daniels jumps up to the apron. There's a backbreaker by Kaz. He then kind of pushes Cody into Christopher Daniels, who has the belt in hand. He gives Cody a whack in the face with it. Kaz lands the unprettier and goes for the pin and the win. Todd St. Clair pops up, the referee. He rolls over to count the 3. The crowd's going crazy. Ian's yelling, "We have a new champion." And somehow, some way, Cody manages to kick out. Sorry, didn't mean to call you by your actual last name there, Cody, even though it's not your real last name. No, I'm not allowed to do that. So Cody kicks out, amazingly. Kaz then goes to the top rope. Marty is now awakened, and he's now awoken, and he gets up to the apron himself and knocks Kaz from the top rope. Kaz kind of flings across the ring. He's now laying down next to Cody. Marty Scurll then turns his attention to Christopher Daniels, and the two of them kind of do their thing on the outside of the ring. Marty at that point throws Christopher Daniels into the ring post, giving him a little taste of his own medicine that he had just dished out to him earlier. And inside the ring, Marty then throws Christopher Daniels into the ring, and inside the ring, Cody is setting up for the crossroads. He's going to deliver it to Christopher Daniels, but he manages to break free of that. He then gets after Cody. Cody flips him up over him and up over the top rope outside of the ring. He's standing on the outside. Marty's up on the apron, and Marty delivers a super kick to Christopher Daniels, slumping him down to the floor. As he delivers a super kick, Frankie tries to sneak in and roll up Cody. Kind of grabs the shorts even on the roll-up pin attempt. Cody manages to kick out. Cody then eventually sets up for the crossroads and lands it on Christopher Daniel. He already hit Christopher Daniel. He then sets up for the crossroads and lands it on Frankie Kazarian. And Cody rolls Frankie up, pin for the win. Ding, ding, ding. Cody wins. I was actually pretty pumped. I got pretty excited for this one. I wasn't sure if they were going to let Cody win this. I'm glad they did. It's like I said, I'm a big Cody guy, so that was it. That was the big Ring of Honor episode number 315. And Cody defends his championship against Kaz. Although I got a pretty good feeling this isn't the last time we've seen Cody take on Kaz, and probably not the last time that we've seen Christopher Daniel get into the mix. Probably not the last time we've seen Bullet Club get into the mix. I got a feeling this one's going to be kind of a little bit of a longer feud, which is a good thing because all these guys can put on great matches and they're good characters, and I'm looking forward to it, in other words. So, good stuff. Good episode this week. I liked the Rumble last week, but I liked the Rumble kind of stuff, and I liked the way they set this up with that being the number one contender, and of course you knew Christopher Daniels was going to get involved. But Kaz is an awesome wrestler, fun to watch. Like I said, I like all of his springboard stuff that he does and the slingshot stuff that he does, and Cody's turned himself into so much different wrestler. He's so much fun, more fun to watch. It's just night and day in terms of what he was doing, I think. Like I said, even just a year ago this time. So anyway, thank you guys for listening. I really appreciate it. Thanks for letting me drone on about my wrestling. I really enjoy Ring of Honor wrestling, and I am glad that I get to come on here and talk about it a little bit. If you could please click subscribe down below, and don't forget to click that notification bell to receive notification when we post our new stuff. If you would like to search for us on Facebook, you can find us on there. Just search for Steve and Jay Show. You can follow us on Twitter at Steve and Jay Show. If you would like to shoot us an email, you can send us an email, thesteveandjayshow@gmail.com. I also am going to post all this information down in the information section. I'll post links and that sort of thing. So anyway, thank you guys for listening. I really appreciate it. We'll see you next week. Thanks. Good night.